Hey, what's going on, guys? So quickly before we move on to some cooler color correction and color grading methods available to you in Premiere Pro, I want to quickly talk about a very cool tool for bringing attention and drawing focus into the center of your image called the Vignette tool. Hypothetically speaking, say we actually wanted to actually draw focus into this clip right here without kind of messing up anything and overall using any crazy advanced effects. The way I would actually go about doing this, guys, would be to direct your attention over here to the Vignette. And the Vignette is a great little tool that actually gives you the option to either add essentially like a blackness and a fade to the lens around the side, or almost like a glow to it. So depending on the type of effect you want to create, you could actually do two different options. So what I mean by this is the amounts right here in the Vignette section. If you actually go here and follow through with me, if I were to drag this all the way up, we're creating almost like a glow and a glow to the focal point, aka the center of the screen. Also, if we were to go, for example, to the left, we are creating a tinge, almost like a burn to the sides of the screen. And if we are actually to go along in this clip to maybe about here, as you can see with a clip especially like this, where there's a lot of brightness on the focal point of our image's face, so for this it's me, this particular effect can do really good. For example, pay attention to the outsides where all of this is essentially blending in until we start bringing the amount up, where it really starts drawing that focus in and overall the actual light to that center point where we are now 100% focusing on purely just my face. As before, if we were up a bit, it's much more bright, much more soft. If we're bringing the amount over to the left a bit, to maybe -3, it's bringing that focal point to the center. And then we can actually proceed to tweak all the rest of this stuff to actually emphasize that point. For example, obviously the midpoint looks crazy if it's all the way over here, but that is all the way into the center and overall bringing the focal point to the 100% the center. But I prefer to actually bring this midpoint a little bit in, and if you are to bring it in, I would definitely suggest you guys start messing with the roundness, because that roundness can just give kind of like a tint to the sides. And you see what we're trying to do is just bring that focal point in, but without trying to create too much of kind of like a nasty border to it. So for example, the ultimate version of a nasty border would be zero feather. So right there, it literally looks just like some binoculars or something like that zoomed in on my face. But the really nice balance here and how we can actually kind of create a seamlessness between clips and overall kind of like a blend to the outside of it is by actually just tweaking the feather, tweaking the roundness, and overall just kind of leveling up this to actually be kind of like a draw to the middle, but without too much kind of emphasis on it. So for example, that would be my idea of way too much emphasis on it, but bringing it out all the way over here would be my idea of actually just bringing the focal point and overall the attention, bringing that directly into the center of the shot. So if we were to turn off the Vignette, right away you can see a huge change, even though you might not have even noticed that in the build-up of us tweaking all that, where actually the image is a lot plainer. We could give this a play right here, and it's a much plainer image. And then if we were to literally just bang on that focal point right there, so for example, if we were to come to a much brighter area, if we have this focal point on, or if we have this Vignette on rather, that focal point has definitely been amplified to the center, aka my face, which is what is currently showing the most light right now, and leads us to actually be looking even further into this image and overlooking kind of the other little details to actually focus on whatever is in the center of this Vignette. But overall, that's the way I see the Vignette tool. Brief explanation of it. By all means, go in there and tweak this further to your liking. And without further ado, let us crack on.